Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. A couple days ago, Nintendo Shadow dropped a new trailer for a new game coming out before the end of the year. A new Zelda game to be specific, and the sequel to Hyrule Warriors, entitled Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Calamity. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors games. They were fun for me back in the days of the PS2, but I just haven't been enthralled by them since. And unfortunately, Hyrule Warriors suffered from a lot of the elements that I just didn't find appealing from this franchise, albeit with many nods to the Legend of Zelda series. But I feel that the Age of Calamity will be something new and unique from the Warriors series, in that 1, it's a canon game. The story directly relates to Breath of the Wild, taking place 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild, which the story of Breath of the Wild alludes to throughout the game. So to be able to recount and reenact the events that happened is a really awesome situation I'm very excited for. But more so than that, I found that a game like Hyrule Warriors, the gameplay just felt like most Warriors games, very repetitious, and the visuals were good, but just not of the quality of a Legend of Zelda game. Now, I never played Fire Emblem Warriors, and from what I saw, it did seem like a spike in quality in terms of respecting the roots and visual style of the franchise. But this game takes it a step further. As I saw the gameplay, I knew that Nintendo had to be more closely involved with it because of the level of quality and how closely it resembled Breath of the Wild. There was virtually no difference, and in some ways it actually looked a little better than Breath of the Wild. But character models, the actual cell shading, the world itself, everything looked almost identical to what I would have seen in Breath of the Wild. And then the producer announced that they had worked incredibly closely with the Zelda team. I'm sold at this point. I am so excited for this game, because not only does it have that level of quality of visuals that Nintendo is known for, but it also reflects the gameplay that would be found in Breath of the Wild, more so than what they did in the original Hyrule Warriors. In a lot of ways that felt a little forced, but in this game it feels seamless, like it was meant to be a part of the gameplay. Now, I don't know how in depth they're going with, say, combo systems and fleshing them out to make them more elaborate, because that was one thing that I found very repetitious with the Warriors games, are combos. You only have so many combo variations that you can pull from before it becomes monotonous. But it was always the hordes of enemies and the consistent action that kept players engaged. I'm hoping from what I've seen with this game that it's not just the hordes of enemies that we will be facing and the fast-paced nature of the game that will keep us going, but also that there are elements of the game that give it a much deeper and complex feel. The fact that in the trailer they actually show the same dodge mechanic from Breath of the Wild where things slow down makes me very hopeful of this. This is one of a few things. They may not have shown off everything that this game has under its sleeve. So I'm incredibly excited to see what the end product is, but judging by the characters involved, all of the champions from Breath of the Wild that had since passed but are now playable characters, makes me incredibly excited to not only take them on as characters and see what they've got in terms of movesets, but to also get a better sense of who they are as characters, to relate to them more through the experience. Obviously, we're going to be able to command Link, Mipha of the Zora, Daruk of the Gorons, Urbosa of the Gerudo, and Revali of the Rito. But we know with Warriors games that there's always more characters than that, so I wonder who else they might add, considering the vast number of characters added to the original Hyrule Warriors. In part of the trailer, you actually see a character wearing Impa's hat. You don't yet know if that is in fact Impa, but I would venture to say it is, seeing as though she's one of the few characters that are still living in Breath of the Wild, but very aged. And considering Impa's role in former Zelda games, I have no doubt in my mind that that is in fact her. I'm incredibly excited to see how this game pans out. From a story standpoint, tying everything together, tying characters together and helping us relate even closer to these characters. But also, when it comes to gameplay, is this game going to be multiplayer online? Is it going to continue to be just a couch co-op game? Or will it be a single-player game altogether, kind of like Berserk was? These are all questions I look forward to finding out. I want to thank you guys for joining me today and really appreciate all your support. If you did enjoy today's video, consider subscribing if you aren't already, and leave a like and a comment below to let me know what you think of this upcoming Zelda game, and how awesome it is that it's coming out before the end of the year. I'm really enjoying Nintendo just shadow dropping and announcing games that are coming out in only a few months as opposed to a year or 2 years from now. Really, really nice stuff, Nintendo. Anyway guys, until next time, thanks for playing.